Hello and welcome. My name is Gummy, and I'm here to teach you about StreamLabs OBS. Alrighty, so this is the application StreamLabs OBS, currently at version 0.11.14. They're always updating it, so there's bound to be changes. Right now we are looking into signing in, and it really just depends on what platform you're using this for. So if you're streaming from Twitch, if you're streaming from YouTube, if you're streaming from Mixer, Facebook, you have the options to determine which one you're going to use. Well, this is a Mixer style video, so we're going to use the Mixer one, and it's going to pop open a window for signing in, and it's going to ask you for your information. I'm going to do it off the screen because I don't need anybody to know my contact information. I don't trust any of y'all. All right, so logging in right now, it's going to ask you about these permissions. Basically, yes to everything you prove you need it to happen. It's not, just you could trust it. Feel free. All right, so we have a couple of scenes here. I'm going to go ahead and delete one of these so we have just fresh data. All right, so here we are. This is what the StreamLabs OBS is going to look like when you first log in. You start. No, I don't want to log out. For whatever reason, it's not telling me my name. So I'm kind of curious as to whom is logged in as. If you have any questions, it should say up at the top right corner, but it's not. So we can take a look at the dashboard. The dashboard would be a good indicator of who you are. You can flip between, and you can see that it's not my main account because I don't have any follows or anything. So it's got to be my my actual my bot that I logged in as. All right. Another part, chatbot. This is a new feature. We'll be going into it in a later video. I'm not really going to worry about it. Themes. This is another good thing. We'll be discussing this at a later point. The editor is where we're going to spend most of our time. We have a couple options. We have night mode. We have light mode. So it depends on if you like the whiteness to it. If you are on, Twitter and you have light mode on, you should probably turn it off because dark mode is like OP. Then we have our studio mode, which allows us to have two screens here. We have our left side, which is our edit. The right side is the live, and we have a transition button. So whenever we make the changes on the edit side, we can just click the transition, and it'll move everything to live right before their eyes. But you can make changes to your screen without, looking unprofessional. And then a couple other things. Settings, this is where you need to go to actually do stuff with your stream, right? So the general tab, there isn't really much information here that I have enabled. I have snapping enabled. Everything else is just kind of off. I don't need to automatically record when streaming. I don't do the keep recording when it stops. All those things. If you want to do that, if you're into making YouTube videos and you want to have a way to get your videos without having to download them from the site, you go in here and you check that out. On the stream side, since we did log into Mixer and StreamLabs on Mixer and Mixer's all connected, you don't have to insert your stream key to automatically import in. One thing to note, though, when you are depending on what type of service you're using, if you're using Restream.io or if you're using Mixer.com, you have options as to what type of service you're using. So with the Mixer, we have two options. We have an FTL and an RTMP. If you're wondering what setting you have to use, it can be either one. If you want more of a delay between chat and video like Twitch has, the RTMP is going to be what you're going for. The FTL, the faster than light, is going to be the essentially just as quick, if not like instant, chat between the streamer on the screen. It's pretty much, and it's also default. So this is called the faster than light. What server? It's auto recommended, automatically determine which has the better ping for you. If you know your area, if you live in Washington, you might as well pick Seattle, but this one is just going to be automatic for you. For the output, it really just depends on how you are feeling about how your computer can handle things. Right? So the first thing that you can look at would be the encoder. We have two options here. We have the NVENC, or the software X264. If you Google anything, you'll just see the X264. So that's X264 or NVENC, it just depends on how good your computer is versus how good your hardware is. I run it off the hardware. I have a pretty decent GPU. I could play around with the X264, I just haven't. I just run it off there. If you want to rescale your output, this is just for streaming. The recording is different. You can keep that at 1080, but for better performance, but not better quality, you could down scale your output. I do it to 720. I don't need it to be at 1080, so I rescale it down. It saves on, fractions of, a little bit of quality versus output type of thing. Bitrate, this is another thing you have to keep an eye on. I run CBR because of rate control there, and then I'd run it 3000 bitrate. I could go up, but it really just depends on your internet speed. If you have really good internet with really good upload, then you can go with the higher bitrate. If you have crappier internet, you go with the lower one. There's sites out there that give you ideas of what your bitrate should be, and Twitch has some applications that you can run that will tell you how your stream is doing based off your bitrate. So you just play with that and figure out what you want. I keep mine at 3000. I could go up to 35 or 4000, but I do like the 3000 range because I only have 10 upload. It's kind of sad. Everything else is default. I don't really worry about it. If I was recording, this is where you would set this up. You don't have to rescale the recording. You just keep it as is, or you could rescale it and then just pick your path, and that's where it's going to store. Audio, I didn't do anything with that. Kept it all the same. Video, the base canvas. So what this is right here, that's your canvas, and I kept that at 1080, so I don't have to restructure any of my designs or anything. But I outscale the resolution to 720, which is what you see in the output side. The downscale filter just depends on how you want your stream to look. There's bilinear, bicubic, and Lanscanos. It really just depends on how well you want the output to look, which one you want to do. I usually stick with the regular one, 16 samples. If you want sharper, you'd probably go with the last one with 32 samples. But if you just want it to be the quickest, you can just do with the bilinear. You will notice very small differences, but you will notice a difference. You might also notice a difference in your performance as well. If you have your just regular FPS value, I stick to 30. I really don't worry about it. Hotkeys, I don't really have anything set up here. I could. You can determine what hotkey starts a stream, what hotkey stops a stream. So if you wanted to go with a tilde or back quote to get this start to stream, you can do the back quote again. It ends the stream. But I'm not going to worry about those. I'm just going to delete them here. Because I have a stream deck, so I have everything programmed on there. I don't really worry about it, but that's how you would start and end the stream, or mute yourself, or things like that. You switch screens, anything you could possibly think of. Like if you don't have a stream deck, you can put it in here, and you can use your keyboard to hotkey your changes. Advanced setting, I didn't really touch any of this. I just let it go, but you can format however you want. But this is for advanced users. Scene collections, if you have something from a previous OBS, you want to upload it to StreamLabs, you can import your overlay file. Or if you want to make changes but you don't want to lose your stuff, you can just export it. But it's also experimental. You don't want to rely heavily on it. You can see your notifications here, set up the appearance, and you do different things like that. But you mainly have to stick with these couple topics to get set up and going. So that's the settings and a little bit of the toolbar up at the top. So let's get going. All right, we have three main containers that we focus on when it comes to streaming. We have the scenes, the sources, and our mixer. So the scenes basically set up how you are doing each scene. The sources go within the scenes, and then the mixer is just global. It detects your audio from your mic and from your computer. So if you have music going or game audio going, it'll come through the desktop audio. If you have something like a microphone here, that's going to come through the mic auxiliary port here. And you can adjust it where you see these volume Based on the decibels, you bring it back, it's minus decibels. You have it up all the way, it's 0 bonus decibels. So that would be what your computer mic sound is set to. So within the scene, we're just going to use the default scene, but if you wanted to, you can create another one. So you have a starting to stream scene. And that would be kind of what you have when you are getting ready to go. And in that case, you want to add an image to it. Let's say you made an image. So we're going to go with images, add source. This is just going to be starting, add new source, and then browse. I have it off the screen because I don't know, I don't trust none of y'all. But I'm going to use probably an old scene that I no longer use. That would be this right here. So there you go. This starting soon at TheGummyKing. So that's what you would see when you are starting. Let's say that you are ending. You need an ending scene. So we're going to go with ending as well. So we're picking that, and then I'm going to add an image as well. This is going to be ending stream. I didn't know. So while you're in ending, you can add another image here. This is going to be just called ending. We're going to add a source, and we're going to pick stream ending here. We're going to click it, and then it says right there, the stream is ending. All right, so we have 3 scenes here. We have starting stream, or starting soon. We have regular scene, and then we're ending right now. All right, so that takes care of a couple scenes. You could have something that says BRB. You could have something that says like intermission, and we'll see that when we look at pre-made templates. But as if you have your own custom art like I do, you can see. You can add it there yourselves, and everything looks hunky-dory. All right. Well, now that you're into the steak and potatoes of it, you basically need to add a what are you doing? Are you streaming a game? Are you streaming your desktop or whatever? I mean, you got to have something, right, for them to see. Well, this is where it comes into having a display capture, a game capture, window capture, video capture, those type of things, and that's what's going to show up on the screen. So right now we're just going to do display capture, and it's going to be a regular display capture, and it's going to be my home screen right here. And so this is what you would see if anything were up on the main monitor. Over here you could see this is the window I'm recording you on, and you can see the inception. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so that's just your display. That's going to be your whatever monitor you pick to be on. It's not always the best when it comes to performance-wise. A lot of the games require you to have a game capture, and we'll go into that. But for now, we also want to do a video. We have a webcam set up, so we're going to add a webcam here. Yes, I want to do that. Yes, I want to do this, and then pick it. I have Elgato, so it's confused in there. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this webcam. Going to click it, and then here I am. Hi. I don't even have my crown on. I'm a failure. Hello. All right. We don't like this. We don't like this at all. We go to properties. We see that is a weird resolution. We want to go with the base default 1080. So we're going to go right here, pick the 1920 1080. We clicked. Anything else is fine. And now we have a really big image. We're just going to crank this down because you don't need to see me. Nope, you're not here for that. That should be adequate right there. So now we have webcam and we have a display, but you're playing a game. You don't really see it on here. I mean, I could, pull it up. So I can pull something up. I'm just going to pull up Heroes of the Storm. How about that? Heroes of the Storm. All on your screen because it's what's on the monitor, right? And so some of you might be like, oh, that's good enough for me. But you see like the overlay that comes in, you don't need to see that. What if I got a notification down here in the bottom corner? You don't need people to see that, right? So you just need to figure out, you know, how do I get, because what happens if I do this? If I go like here and bring this over in front, then that lines it and you see all these things. It's just distracting. You want just the game to show up, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hide that, and then I'm going to close this display capture. I'm going to go add game capture here. I'm going to add the source. I'm going to rename this because, you know, you could be playing a lot of games if you're a variety streamer, right? So I'm going to rename it to HOTS. Go ahead and say that this is going to be whatever scaling you want it to be. The mode, it says capture any full screen application. You don't want to do that. You just want to capture a window. And then this window is going to be the Heroes of the Storm x64 EXE. Click done. It's going to drop it on top, and then we'll just pull it down. And so now we have this Heroes of the Storm. If I were to bring this over here, I have a window over the top of this. You can't see it, right? Now we have our game. And then we can say, oh gosh, that camera is way too big for this game. I'll shrink it. We don't see this ugly face here. So now you're like, okay, well, this is cool and all, but I kind of want to see, you know, a couple of features in this, you know, game, right? So I have I have a webcam box. I need to get a webcam box in here. I have alerts. I need to get events. What am I going to do? Well, like I said, when you come into here, you have your standard set and you have your widgets. So you can do pretty much everything from the adding here. So we're going to add another image. Click it. I'm going to call this webcam border because I'm original. Again, I'm going to browse it off screen because I'm particular. And we're going to... Alright, so I grabbed it. Now I got to shrink it to size because it's obviously too big for the image size that I wanted. It might still be too big. It keeps going to size. And so now it's right there. I got a webcam border. It looks like it might be a little too big still. Or the image is a little too big. There we go. All right, now it's perfect. Right, now I have a border. And it separates me from the game, which is nice. Now let's say that we have other things. So I'm going to come over here and we have alert box. Right, so I'm going to add an alert box. We're just going to call it alert box, whatever you want to do with it. That's off the screen a little bit. Let's see if I can shrink this down a little bit. There we go. And now we can adjust this wherever we want. I'm going to put it right here. And then we're going to test the follow if we can. I was having issues logging in. We're going to also add, let's say we have an event list. We're going to add that as well. I don't need to see that, but the event list is right here. We don't really have, I don't have any events right now, but it's there. Let's say that I am looking for, I don't have a jar, don't really want to worry about that. How about a viewer count? We'll go add a source for that. We go add, and then it's, you know, something there. It's down in the corner. You can see that, hey, I have, you know, 0 people watching me right now because I'm not live. You can put that anywhere you want. It's basically anything that you could think of from StreamLabs you could put on here. If you have a follower goal, if you have that monster, you have a chat box. Yeah, we'll go with the chat here. We're going to add a new source here. The chat's just going to go right there. Let's say I want to pull over here. We're going to do a chat hello world. It's going to pop up right there. I don't have anything set up, right? Put that in the corner. You know, we can add anything we want to this this screen. So, what are the whys? You might not want to put a lot of things on this screen. Kind of having a lot of things kind of detract from the user's experience when they're in the stream. But it's very helpful for you to, you know, put what you want on your screen to personalize and define who yourself are. Hi, Cat. Why are you upset? What's going on, buddy? I don't know why you're upset, dude. Okay. So with that in mind, got to be careful with how much stuff you put on the screen. and all that jazz. Let's see if I can get the alerts tested. Alright, so once you get logged into StreamLabs, you have an option to like launch a widget box right here, and you're able to pretty much test your widgets here. So you can see that, oh, the SquireBot followed me. And then, or you can just have it on your screen itself. Since I added the format, I'm going to go ahead and click test follow, and you can see that it shows up on your screen. It also should show the events, so I'm going to figure out why it's not. Alright, so now the event is showing up down here. SquireBot with the sub. Hit me up, sub. Appreciate it, bud. 10 subs, making Gummy happy. Follow. Sub. Follow doesn't show up on here. Wonder why. Let's take a look at that. Widget gallery, event list. Might just be a lame setting. Okay, there we go. I like to show everything on there. We're going to change the color, and then we're going to go ahead and test now. So I have a few of these. You stick them anywhere you want. I'm going to put it like right here so you can, pretty much see it. It's really hard to read, but it highlights it, things like that. So these are just interactions that you can have on your stream because of StreamLabs. And so here is a basic overlay, a basic usage of this. And you can get creative with things if you want, like the bottom bar now. I can add text in here. Let's do that. I'm going to add a text. It's kind of small right now. I want to adjust it so it's really big, but it's off the screen, right? And so you want this to be visible. You could add a filter to it. I'm going to go ahead and add scrolling. Yep, adjusting it to like 93 speed. There you go. And then it just says, hello and welcome to the GummyKing tutorial. So you can just pretty much do anything that you want in terms of adding to your stream. But like I said, I wouldn't do this stuff. It depends on my mood, but too cluttered, whatever you want. So this is a quick look on how to put these things together. This is simple. The next video is going to be about the themes, and it'll be interesting. So make sure you check those out. And just if you have any questions, if you have any comments, concerns, anything like that, feel free to throw them in the comments below. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you.